2019, San Jose Airport, California.
Uh-oh.
A private Gulfstream G650 is coming in for landing.
Private jet.
On board, Adam Newman, co-founder of WeWork. Along with him, a case full of cash, bottles of tequila, and traces of marijuana smoked mid-flight.
Damn,
He's
he
arrived to
crazy.
negotiate another deal while his
jet?
company is rapidly spiraling toward financial collapse. Meanwhile, in New York, 2,400 WeWork employees are receiving layoff notices, and the company's valuation is plummeting from $47 billion to $8 billion. This is the story of how one man made $1.7 billion by destroying his own company and wiping out billions in investor money.
Oh, he went crazy like
2010, New York City. Adam Newman, together with Miguel McKelvey, opens the first space under the WeWork brand.
I heard that, but I don't know what it is.
The company rents large office spaces,
Right.
renovates them,
Right.
divides them into smaller offices,
Okay.
and sublets them to startups,
Okay.
freelancers, and small businesses.
Okay.
But instead of calling it real estate, Newman calls it a revolution in the way we live. Before this, Newman had tried himself in various roles. His first business was selling baby onesies with knee pads. It failed, but Adam learned a key lesson. A well-presented idea sells better than the product itself.
Okay.
And that became the foundation for WeWork.
We're a company that builds communities. We have our
well-presented
mission, our main
idea.
thing that we do is curate and create culture.
His partner Miguel, an architect by training, helped with design. But from day one, all the attention was focused on Adam. He was building not only a company, but a personal cult. He walked
He was
barefoot
going
in the
crazy.
office,
Oh.
quoted philosophers, and
Why do these rich niggas always look like they homeless? Like this is
but a
this is
personal
out of
cult.
pocket, bro.
He walked
This is ridiculous right here. This is a violation. This is a smack right here. This ain't right. This ain't right, folks. You look like Tarzan, gang. Where's you just like a big ass piece of chicken with just boiled chicken with no flavor, no seasoning, no marinade, none of that, folks. No salt, no pepper, just a big ass boiled chicken. He got on a plain gray t-shirt, a homeless. Come on, gang. Get you some Gucci or something, folks. You gotta, come on, man.
barefoot in the office,
Feel me?
quoted philosophers,
Damn.
and spoke about a future where everyone would live and work in unity. And he managed to convince investors of this. The first to
Okay.
believe was venture capital firm
Oh.
Benchmark. They invested $17 million in WeWork,
Damn!
and that amount instantly changed everything.
Right.
Instead of just a few offices in New York, the company rapidly scaled across America. In Boston, San Francisco,
17
Los
goddamn
Angeles,
million dollars.
Washington, Seattle, and other cities, 23 new locations opened,
Right.
each presented as part of a bigger vision. A vision where Newman was the central figure. He loved attention. His speeches resembled those of
He
a
was going
spiritual leader.
crazy.
He spoke about the meaning of life, about how people had lost connection with each other, and how WeWork would restore it.
If you want to change the world, start by changing yourself and doing by setting an example. We actually can change the world. I believe our mission as Jews on this planet is to set the best example we can do.
His words often
How the
lacked
hell you gonna
specifics,
change the world with office space? Do your homework.
but sounded inspiring. And that was enough to captivate venture capitalists who wanted to invest in something more than just office space.
Right.
Shalom Shanghai! This is the Nashville show!
I'm looking for a company that's going to change the world.
It was the Creator Awards that gave us that fuel. There's so much talk in this world.
Inside the company, his cult only intensified.
What the hell was
Employees were
that?
asked to give standing ovations after his speeches, and no one dared to question his ideas. For many, he was not a CEO, but a prophet.
Us together, all of us here, is every one of us is here because it has a meaning. Because
Everybody
we
got
wanna
much
do
hair
something.
because you have a do something. It sounds like he finna finesse you. Like everything he said is a lie. Something.
That actually makes the world a better place, and we want to make money doing it.
He funny as hell.
Neumann also managed to convince everyone that WeWork was a tech startup. Even though the company didn't build software or own any patented innovations, Newman argued that just like Uber transformed transportation and Airbnb transformed hospitality, WeWork was transforming how people work. He was selling a dream, and investors bought into it.
Damn.
With the influx of millions in new investments,
why they
WeWork
invest
begins
in
rapid
me?
global
Invest in me.
expansion. London, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, Berlin, Shanghai. In just a few years, the company grows to over 100 offices across dozens of countries, rents millions of square meters of office space, and declares ambitious plans. To investors, it looks like massive expansion, but behind that dynamic growth lies a different reality. Every new office means costs: rent, renovations, furniture, staff, marketing. But revenue doesn't cover the expenses. In 2018, the company loses $1.6 billion.
Damn!
That's the official figure. But instead of stopping or optimizing the model, Newman calls it investment in the future. He tells investors that profit isn't the priority. Growth, scale, and mission, that's what matters.
And building big companies, that is not the goal. The goal is finding something that you truly love. Make sure it has intention behind it.
This nigga crazy as hell. Talking about all that profit don't matter, but he took that money and ran though. Do your homework.
Make sure it's gonna make the world a better place.
Call the police
The core
on his
idea
ass.
becomes we, an abstract concept of a future where work, education, and life are integrated into one space. Under this idea, Newman launches additional projects. We Live, residential complexes promising a new way of living. We Grow, an alternative school for children. But none of these
going
ideas
crazy.
become functioning businesses.
He ain't go crazy.
The key investor becomes SoftBank. Masayoshi Son, the legendary Japanese businessman, believes in Newman's charisma.
Oh, it's Japanese.
After their first meeting, he decides to invest over $4 billion.
God damn! Can I get 4 million? I don't need that much. Do your homework. Come
Despite
on,
the heavy
man.
losses in reports, Newman promises a global revolution. Adam receives the funds and full freedom of action. He starts using the money not only to scale the business, but also for personal use. He buys a $60 million private jet. He purchases real estate and rents it out to WeWork. In other words, the company rents property from its own founder.
Right.
This is a textbook conflict of interest.
Right.
But inside WeWork, no one questions it. Neumann also begins actively acquiring tech startups, often without a clear strategy. Among the purchases,
buying shit.
educational platforms, AI and analytics services, even friends businesses, like a pool company that makes artificial waves. He spends hundreds of millions of dollars to create the illusion
What
that
the
WeWork
hell?
is not just a rental business, but a major innovation holding. These
Right.
projects are used to justify the company's
Who?
value.
How is he getting all this money? Cause if a nigga came to me and told me that I needed to invest in him, and I look at his information, his books and all that, folk, and I see that he done lost $4 billion last year, I'm not giving you my money. What's wrong with you?
Investor presentations. But in reality, they only increase costs, generate no revenue, and are shut down within months.
Damn.
Despite this, the company's valuation keeps climbing. At its peak, WeWork is valued at $47 billion. And publicly, everything moves toward the logical next step, an initial public offering.
Is
The
he got like a cheat code to the GTA server or something? Like how is you getting all this money from no money?
company
What the hell
prepares
is
to go
going
public.
on?
But before the IPO happens, Neumann starts selling off his own shares, more than $700 million worth.
Damn.
This
hold on,
raises
folks.
questions. Why is the founder cashing out if he truly believes in the company?
It's going down.
In August 2019, WeWork finally files for IPO. And from that moment, everything begins to fall apart. What had been covered by slogans and Newman's charisma for years now becomes public.
I never heard
The
about this
documents
story.
reveal an unexpectedly harsh truth. The company isn't just unprofitable, it's drowning in debt. Expenses far exceed income, and the entire operation runs purely on investor cash. At that time, WeWork has over 700 locations in 39 countries, spending over 80% of its revenue just to cover rent.
Why are you buying more and more buildings if you not profiting off the first one? That does not make any logical sense to me. If I set up one business, for example, one restaurant, and it's not profiting, why would I go get another restaurant? I need to focus on this one profiting first. At least if it's $400 profit, okay, we got profit though. You know what I'm saying? We got some type of profit. We're gonna save up the profit and we're gonna reinvest to another location.
More than
I'm not just gonna
$2.7
keep
billion
building
per year.
Come on, bro.
Journalists from the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and Bloomberg begin publishing exposés one after another.
Oh my
All the
God.
details that had remained in the shadows are now widely known. Neumann used investor money for personal needs. A private jet worth tens of millions supposedly for work travel. Personal properties rented to his own company, all under the guise of changing the world. It also emerges that Adam registered the trademark We under a separate company, then sold those rights to WeWork for $6 million. The public backlash forces him to return the money, but the episode highlights how Neumann treated investor funds as personal assets. The market panics. The company's valuation, once $47 billion, crashes to $8 billion. Instead of the highly anticipated public offering, total collapse. The IPO is canceled. WeWork pulls the documents.
These investment banks should have known better. We've seen people fall victims to these charismatic types before. This house of cards was coming down. This is a failure.
I'm trying to get the script though. Like, what is he telling these people that's getting them to, you know what I'm saying?
Misunderstanding what the marketplace is.
Lead investor SoftBank tries to save the company, but under one condition: Neumann must leave. In October 2019, Adam Neumann resigns, but not empty-handed. He's granted $1.7 billion in payouts, part stock buyout, part compensation. He walks away a billionaire, while investors who had put in hundreds of millions see their capital wiped out.
Right.
Thousands of employees lose their jobs. People who believed in the mission and worked
He
14
really finessed the system. He walked away with 1.7 billion with a B billion.
FBI, open up!
They gotta call the police on you like that, boy. Cause it
15-hour days receive layoff
It's
notices.
crazy, gang.
In total, the company is forced to lay off 2,400 people,
Damn.
around 20% of its workforce. The company doesn't even have enough cash to offer standard severance. So, SoftBank injects another $6 billion to cover debts and stabilize what remains.
Where are y'all getting this money? Like, bro, we need more. I need more money. I need more money. I need more money. I need more money. What do you mean they just tossed the extra $6 billion? Like, yeah, here, take care of it. What? I'm doing something. It's something I gotta rethink my life, bro. It's something I'm doing wrong. It's something I'm doing wrong, bro. It's something I'm doing
Massive
wrong.
restructuring begins. Crisis managers cancel We Live, We Grow, freeze global expansion, and shut down hundreds of offices, reducing to just 66 locations. Everything that once seemed massive is reduced to a struggle for survival. After the pandemic, in 2023,
It went back up, though.
WeWork officially files for bankruptcy. A company once valued at $47 billion can no longer pay rent.
Damn.
This isn't the story of a
But
classic
he got
fraud
out with
scheme,
1.7
but it is the
billion.
story of how one man built a company on promises with no viable business model and profited from it.
And he didn't even really scam nobody. It ain't like he scammed nobody. You know what I'm saying? Kinda a little. He was finessing a little bit. But it ain't like he was scamming the investor. They was investing and he was getting more locations. He was paying more rent. He was doing more, but it wasn't profiting. And they dumbass kept giving them money. If you want to give me another $1 billion, even though my company right now is not profiting, I'm gonna take the extra billion, bro. Thanks. I could try to fix it. Like, I'm not gonna say no, nigga. You crazy? So I don't even blame folks for real. Do your homework.
Legally, Neumann broke no laws, but in practice, he took advantage of trust, hid behind lofty slogans, misled investors, and left the company buried in billions of debt while walking away with billions in personal wealth. I'm working to make...
Hey, y'all let me know if y'all want more videos, reactions like this, bro. Because, damn, that shit was just crazy.